One of the best 360 action cams of recent years now has a successor, the new Insta360 X4. They kindly sent us the device to test out before the release date, and we've been having a lot of fun with it. This little thing can now record an incredible 8K, but will Insta360 manage to climb the action cam throne? We tested the camera against the GoPro Hero12, and we'll show you in this video what advantages the respective cameras have and which camera you should buy.
So the biggest difference between the two devices is that the Insta360 X4 has two lenses instead of just one, like the GoPro does. But of course you can use it as a regular action camera on single mode, which is what we're comparing right now.
With the X4, you can choose which of the two lenses you want to record with. In this mode, the X4 can record at a maximum of 4K at 60 FPS. The GoPro has a higher resolution of 5.3K, also with a maximum of 60 FPS. It is obvious that the GoPro does a better job here. Even the white balance is a bit too warm. If we look at my face or the columns, you can see the difference. The footage from the X4 is noisier, and the edges of the columns have a strange purple color cast. The next shot is against the sun, which is particularly difficult for cameras to capture. The X4 is significantly darker than the GoPro, and as before also has noise. But the GoPro doesn't look particularly good here either. It also has a lot of noise and somehow doesn't look as sharp. In general, we like the footage from the GoPro more in this shot. Now let's take a look at the footage when the frames per second are set to 30. As before, the footage from the GoPro is significantly warmer. In terms of white balance, the X4 seems to do a better job. But even at 30 frames per second, the X4 is a bit noisier, which you can see in the plans on the ground or in the building. Apart from these things, we think both recordings are looking pretty good. Now you might be wondering, the Insta can record in 8K, but why are we only showing you 4K footage? This is because both lenses together have a resolution of 8K. Each one individually can record up to 4K, which by the way is significantly better than its predecessor, the X3, which could record of a maximum of 5.7K. But enough with boring numbers. Let's see which camera stabilizes better. Another important part of action cams is of course stabilization. Although the GoPro is one of the best cameras on the market in terms of stabilization, the Insta360 X4 manages to beat the GoPro. The footage is buttery smooth and is perfectly stabilized. Normally the GoPro doesn't shake that much, but we wanted to see how well the Insta360 copes with a hardcore shaky run. Both cameras also have a horizon lock. This means that the camera always remains stable horizontally no matter how much you turn the camera. But the Insta can do even more than the GoPro. You can also tilt the camera up and down, and thanks to the 360 recording, even here the images remain completely straight. This is especially great for action shots. We've come to slow motion, which may be very important for some of you. The GoPro can record in 5.3K with 60 frames per second, the Insta360 can do the same in 4K single mode or 5.7K in normal 360 mode. Apart from the different white balance, the GoPro looks much more detailed here than the Insta. GoPro can also record 120 FPS in 4K, and the Insta manages 100 FPS. But as you can clearly see here, the quality of the GoPro is still better. This is simply because the Insta can record 100 FPS, but as explained at the beginning, the resolution is halved because of the two lenses. If you want it even slower, the GoPro can even record at 240 frames per second in 2.7K.
So let's do a quick test of the built-in microphones. Firstly, let's start with the GoPro Hero12. This is what the built-in microphone sounds like. What do you guys think? I'm quite excited to assess these and see which one does better. Moving on to the Insta360 X4. How is the built-in microphone on this bad boy? Is it any better? Is it the same? Let's see.
This is difficult. What do you think? Both microphones sound good to me. The GoPro filters out a bit more noise, but the voice is a bit muffled as a result. The Insta therefore sounds a bit clearer, but you can hear a bit more background noise. For us, there is really no clear winner here. Both sound good. You can also connect an external microphone to both cameras or even connect certain earbuds via Bluetooth. Let's just get to the part that makes the Insta360 X4 so special, and of course that's due to the possibility of 360 shots. With the Insta, it is possible to attach the camera to a selfie stick and it disappears automatically. See for yourself, which footage would you choose? Compared to the GoPro, this is really great because you have many more options for filming. Timelapse with the Insta gives you a lot more options while recording. While with the GoPro, you can only take a fixed shot with 5.3K, with the Insta, you can record an 11K timelapse and choose afterwards which frame you want to have. The same applies to time warp or time shift. While with the GoPro, you always have to pay attention to what you're filming and always have the object in focus. With the Insta360, you can walk around completely relaxed. Thanks to the 360 shots, you can decide later in the editing process what exactly you want to see. This makes such recordings super easy, especially for beginners. Now we come to the part that only the X4 can do. Sorry GoPro, unfortunately you cannot keep up here.
So there's this really cool mode called bullet time mode where you put the camera on this stick and you can make it even longer, and all you gotta do is rotate it above your head, and here are the results. Another pretty cool mode is where you put the camera on this long stick and you just have to stand against a wall and do this movement, and let's see the results.
With this camera, you have so many different ways to take cool shots. From the feet to the treetops, simply with a 3-meter long selfie stick. I really have to say that taking footage with this camera was a lot of fun, and the nice thing is that you don't have to worry about how to hold the camera. You can simply decide which view you want in the cut. You can now record in 8K at 30 frames per second, 5.7K at 60 frames per second, or 4K in 100 FPS, which also gives you slow motion options. However, 360 shots also have a disadvantage. When you take 360 shots, you have to edit them afterwards. This is simply because the camera doesn't know what you want to show. But Insta360 has also thought about this. If you already know exactly what you want to record without having to edit anything afterwards, then you can simply use single mode. Or if you just want to film yourself all the time, you can use me mode. Here the camera always keeps you automatically at the center of attention. This mode is also available with 120 frames per second in 4K.
So you do have the option of voice control on the GoPro. By calling its name and then saying start recording, it will automatically start recording, and same with stop recording. But what's really cool about the Insta360 is that you have full-on gesture control. So even when it's on a 3-meter long stick, if I just raise my hand like this, it will detect that and start recording on its own. And same with stop recording. Very, very handy and cool feature.
You can take photos with both cameras in good resolution, with the GoPro in 27 megapixels and with the Insta in 72 megapixels. Of course, you also have more options with the Insta. You can create a small planet or a normal photo, whatever you like. A cool feature in the app is Quick Edit, where you're able to choose from simple reframing methods. Just move your phone, swipe, use the virtual joystick, or long press a subject for Deep Track 3.0. The improved algorithm makes movements smoother and clips save straight to your phone. Beginners often struggle to know where to focus in a 360 video because of the many framing options. Now they can easily follow AI recommendations and edit with a single tap. The app also has so many different AI effects to choose from, and it's super easy to use. Once you click on a specific effect, it'll give you step-by-step instructions on what you need to do, so there's no way to be confused and waste time. Let's take a look at battery life, as that's pretty important. The Insta has a 2290 mAh battery and the GoPro has a 1720 mAh battery. The running time of the Insta is about 135 minutes and the running time of the GoPro is about 100 minutes. So Insta takes the win for this one. What's really nice is that you now have a removable lens guard, which really comes in handy when you're out and about, especially if you're shooting vigorous activities, as it will protect your lenses no matter what. It's also super easy to put on and take off. Let's conclude this comparison by deciding which camera is better and which one should you buy. Well, that depends. The GoPro is a great action camera that is definitely more robust than the X4. The GoPro lens is a little more protected and is therefore less prone to getting scratched. If you know exactly what you want to film and want the best possible video quality, then the GoPro is the right choice. The Insta360 single mode is great, but it can't keep up with the GoPro in terms of video quality. The GoPro is also cheaper than the X4. It costs $349 and the X4 costs $499. And why should you buy the X4, you might be asking? The main argument for us is the fact that you have two cameras in one. If you want to take normal shots, then you just use the single mode. If you want to take 360 shots, then you use that. You have so many possibilities with this camera and the shots just look great. Recording is also much easier. You don't have to worry about whether the camera is set up correctly. You shoot first and frame later, so you never miss a shot again. What's more, the app and the studio software for Mac and PC are brilliant. I would say that there is no better software out there from an action camera manufacturer. We were also impressed by the large display. It's really easy to use and we didn't have any lags or anything like that. With the GoPro, we did have some issues from time to time. If we had to choose one camera, it would be the X4. You simply have a lot more options with this camera. Direct links can be found in the description below, and as always, if you enjoyed this review, please don't forget to give this video a big like, and don't forget to subscribe to be a part of our Versus community if you aren't already. With that being said, we will see you in the next video, and until then, take care.